Well, after the Black Cauldron, okay, anything. Well, hey, this is like Citizen Kane. After the Black Cauldron, feel like anything's better than the Black Cauldron. Alright, so, The Great Mouse Detective. It's, again, better than the Black Cauldron by every means, but it's still kind of weird. You know, it's still kind of. I don't really get a few things of what they did for this thing. But, yeah, I guess. So, let's start out with the plot, just in case if you haven't heard of it. So this, apparently there's mice living in a human world. And these mice, and this little girl mouse loses her dad. And I guess the doctor mouse, who's supposed to be like Dr. Watson, finds her, brings her over to Basil of Baskerville, who's supposed to be the Sherlock Holmes, if you will. Basil goes on this mystery quest to find out where her dad is, and along the way, they do find him, but then it's all based around this rat who wants to take over London by using the dad's inventions that are so crazy and stupid to think that they could actually exist in late 1800s London, that it gets kind of comical. And then there's the big ending and all that, and after that, Basil Baskerville and Dr. Watson Mouse get together and they start solving mysteries together. If the plot sounds kind of shaky, I mean, it kind of is. But first, let's get into the good, okay? If you've seen the first 7 minutes of Up, and you're probably thinking, how in the hell did Pixar get the inspiration for this really sad first 7 minutes, and why would they even do that? I have a feeling they probably watched The Great Mouse Detective and they were like, you know what? We can make this sadder. We can make this even better. Because the opening of this movie is probably one of the saddest things I've ever seen in my life. It's not as sad as Up, but it's pretty dark and pretty sad, man. I mean, you see the dad and the girl just playing with each other, and then all of a sudden, the bad mice come in and take him, and all that, and the girl's like, "Daddy, where are you? Daddy!" Whoa, what the heck? Okay, you know, I mean, I wouldn't say it's bad. It just comes out of nowhere, but as like a platform to step off of to go into the movie, I say it does the job pretty well. I mean, it's the OG of sad opening scenes, you know, in Disney at least. I'll give it this: every actor in this thing serves the characters pretty well. Basil's actor does a fantastic job. Even the kid. I think Disney finally learned its lesson here, where they need to cast good kid actors to play the kids. Because the kid who plays the girl mouse, she was fantastic. I mean, she was better than the kid in The Rescuers by all means, man. I mean, by all means. I got behind her, okay? Especially in the opening scene, it was believable. It just wasn't like they brought some kid off the street and was like, here, read these lines, you know? This is actually a trained actress playing this character, and yeah, I give props to him for that. I gotta admit, man, this is an over-the-top villain. This is a great, great villain, okay? I wouldn't put it in the pantheon of great Disney villains, but he serves the movie pretty well. I love the villain in this thing. The villain was like one of my favorite parts. The actor who played this character seemed like he was having the most fun. So there you go. The use of the dark imagery was perfectly complemented with the movie. You see, in the Black Cauldron, they tried to shove the dark imagery down your throat, and it didn't work, especially for a Disney movie. Here, it was a perfect balance between dark imagery and the overall Disney impression, I guess. The overall Disney, I guess, type of feel. It balances out pretty well, I might add. Especially for a dark 80s kids movie. I mean, it balances it pretty well, I think. Some of the jokes actually pretty work as well. I mean, I gotta admit, I was kind of laughing some of the times that the Dr. Watson mouse was kind of bumbling around. Because it harkens back to the Sherlock Holmes stories, you know? Dr. Watson was kind of a bumbling sidekick, and Sherlock Holmes had to ring him in sometimes, you know? Or at least that's what's happened in the movies. But yeah, you know, it harkens back to that, and I kind of appreciate that. The music is serviceable. It's not like a classic Disney songs or music, I guess, but it serves it pretty well. The animation, it's a lot better than the Black Cauldron, a lot better than what we've gotten. A lot more clear lines, a lot more, it's a lot better, it's a lot cleaner. It's not like it doesn't look like people just drew it and then just put it in the movie or all that. They cleaned it up, they touched it up a little bit. I give them props for that. Good job, you learned. Thank you, Disney, and all that. The climax in this movie, is fantastic, man. I mean, it literally takes place in Big Ben, and I think it was like the first ever Disney type movie to have CGI incorporated in an animated movie, because the CGI in this movie looks pretty good, man. I mean, especially for a late 80s movie, the CGI complemented the rest of the movie, and I gotta admit, it was pretty good. Yeah, man, I like this movie. It wasn't that terrible, I think. Yeah, now for the bad. The character names, okay, I get confused on. You might have noticed I talk about the girl mouse, and I don't know her name. I don't know her name. The Dr. Watson mouse, I don't know his name. The only name I really know from this movie is Basil of Baskerville, because I hear it all the time in this movie. Everyone else, I don't know the name of, because it is the Sherlock Holmes mouse. It is the Dr. Watson mouse. It's the Moriarty mouse. You know, the big, huge rat. You know, it's not... Why wouldn't you just have Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson? You know, Basil even lives in Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson's house. Why couldn't they just be Dr. Watson and Sherlock? You know? I mean, if you gotta have them as mice, just have Sherlock Holmes as a mouse. Or have them as people. The whole thing is just really confusing, and I don't understand why. You know? People are gonna... If you watch this movie today, people would say, it is the Sherlock Holmes mouse. It is the Dr. Watson mouse. It's the Moriarty mouse. Why can't you just have them named the Sherlock Holmes names, you know? Sherlock, Dr. Watson, Moriarty. I mean, even back then, they were characters that you could have used in the movie. I mean, they're free-range, it's like no copyright whatsoever on them. You could have put them in there. They did put them in there. I don't understand it, really. I don't understand that. That was pretty... I think that was a stupid move on their part. The Bat in, that's the sidekick for the Moriarty mouse, the great villain. He's annoying, man. I mean, I wish apparently the evil rat has this cat that eats mice and whatever. Oh, by the way, there's a death in this scene. A mouse. So in memoriam, that mouse who died. And yeah, there you go. And yeah. I wish the cat ate the bat. You know? The bat was extremely annoying, and I hated him. I wouldn't say he was bad as the fuzzy thing from Black Cauldron, but he was still pretty bad. He was really annoying. The music was serviceable. The songs aren't that memorable, however. I mean, when you think of Disney, you think of these memorable, awesome, tension-grabbing songs, and here it's not... You don't get any of that. And I wish we did, because that would have bumped this movie up even higher on the list, I would think. But it doesn't. The pacing in this movie was pretty okay, I guess, up until the middle. Between the middle and the climax, you see a very big slowdown. You start checking your watch, it gets pretty long. It doesn't grab your attention, all that. But then when the climax comes in, you're like, whoa, you know? It explodes. But between the middle and the climax, that one part, it drags. It drags so much. And yeah, it's just terrible. That was just, you know, I was getting pretty bored, quite honest with you. But other than that, I'd say, even with all the bad, I'd say this movie's pretty okay. It's not that terrible. I mean, would I watch it again? Maybe, if I just wanted to see the Sherlock Holmes movie again, but didn't want to see a terrible one, want to see a Disney interpretation of Sherlock, I'd probably pop this in again, because that's what it is. It's Disney's interpretation of Sherlock. And you know, if you have a kid who you want to introduce him to Sherlock Holmes and all that, for maybe Sherlock, the BBC TV show, maybe, I don't know, just pop in this movie and it's serviceable, you know? It's serviceable, you know? And there you go. Alright, guys. Hey, subscribe. Get these subscribers up. A lot more content coming your way. So like, comment, do everything you want. Comment about what you want me to review, because I'm not going to be doing these Disney reviews for too long. So, yeah, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you want me to review after the Disney reviews and all that. And, yeah, have a good day, and I'll see you later.